Hi everybody, this is Suzie and welcome to Suzie Crafter Designs. Today I have something really special to share with you. I was very, very proud of myself when making this, and I'm not going to beat around the bush, so I'm just going to get right to the point. I was very inspired by something that I've been trying to make for the holidays. I went over to Pinterest and I was looking up Santa boots, Christmas stockings, and so on. Because my sewing machine is fixed and because I bought a bunch of fabrics, one of the items that I had in mind was to make was a shabby chic style Victorian Santa Christmas Christmas boot. So with that said, I was saying to myself, I need to buy a template. So I wound up buying a template from McCall's, which I have not received yet in the mail. And after I did that, I said, boy, I'm really stupid. I gotta say, I'm an artist and I bought a template. Doesn't make sense. So I drew on paper this here. This is my template. Okay. And I drew that on a 12 by 18 inch piece of heavy weighted cardstock, and then I put it through to my my printer, and I printed out on two pieces of 8.5 by 11 paper and put them together, and I wound up cutting out this really beautiful muslin and felt, which was like a fleece for the lining of the inside. So I'm just going to show you what I did, and this really took me several days to make. So I'm really proud of it, and I just want to show you how it looks. I have it hanging up on my dress form because I was really kind of losing a place to actually put it right now. In the meantime, this is what I made. It is a Victorian style shabby chic boot, and I just love the way that it came out. I was so happy with it that I actually cried. I know that sounds terrible, but I was really, really proud of myself with it, that I actually cried. So I'm just going to show you basically what I did here was, and I'm not going to say that it was a piece of cake easy, because there's a lot of attention to detail here, and I paid a lot of time to each and every move I made, because this was the first one that I've ever done. And with that said, you see how skinny the leg turned out? I wasn't looking for it to turn out like that, but in the end it kind of looked very flimsy, kind of, not flimsy, but kind of like elegant, feminine, and it was really pretty. So, and I'm sure that ladies way back when, if they wore a boot that might have looked like something like this, like one of those lace-up boots, they had really skinny ankles. So, but anyway, what I had done here is I made the boot where the outside base here is all muslin, and it's a beautiful fabric, and the inside is actually a white fleece. Everything's finished off. I'm just showing you the outside right now. I'm going to stop the video and make another one with this on the table so you can see a few other things at a closer range. For example, these flowers. All of the flowers were all hand done and handmade. Oops, and that one's not even glued down yet. But if you can see here, I have a gorgeous burgundy Christmas red twisted fabric rose, along with this one here, which is, just want to make sure that I'm not blurry, which is a silk rose and another silk rose way at the top that's it's on a wire. I put it on a wire and I glued it in so I can move it around, like bend it if I want a little bit more. And then I have a really pretty velvet flower that I made, kind of like a daisy flower with a vintage pearl rhinestone button in the center. I have this really, really gorgeous trim. It's so beautiful. That was sent to me about 2 years ago by my friend Suzette, who's on Facebook. Hi, Suze. Thank you. I finally used it. I was keeping it because it was from her and it was special to me. And then I thought about that I'd like to see it more often rather than just opening the box and looking at it. So I use this really pretty chandelier trim. It's very wide. I have it underneath this other trim here, which is an absolutely beautiful wide stretch lace from Shabbylishious. Very, very pretty. And then I have over here the base of this that's on top of it. This lace right here is a gorgeous Venice lace, also from Shabbylishious, just absolutely stunning. And coming down here on the boot, which again, like I said, I will get a little closer, I have a really pretty applique lace from my fabric store. And I have some other appliques here and here from Shabbylishious. And then I have this absolutely beautiful, beautiful, let me just get, oops, sorry. This is gorgeous. This is like a gold applique, gold trimmed applique with little flowers on it and cream colored, goldish colored pearls, and it's just absolutely stunning. You'll see that in the close-up video that I'm doing that will be connected to this video itself. Currently, I stuffed it, which I didn't plan on doing, but I wanted to give it more of a lifelike look. And I'm just going to turn it so that you can see that on both sides it is completely finished, very neatly done. As always, I have a burgundy colored fringe that's hanging down with one of these long chandeliers that I cut off and adhered. And if you can see over here, the ends of the Venice lace that hang off, I kind of tap down instead of cutting them off, and it really looks pretty because it kind of gives you the appearance of almost like a buttoned up dress, and I love that look. And then I have some more really pretty lace right here, which is also from Shabbylishious. Just gorgeous. And then I have a butterfly down here, which is a Shabbylishious, also an applique. I cut it in half. I used half here and the other half up top right there. Just beautiful. And I did use some other small little leaf-like appliques on the toe on this side and the other side. Everything is completely finished off, and it's hanging by a piece of seam binding. And on the inside, I just have a piece of velvet that's there, just to close it off, because the top is open, and you can put stuff in there. I just will not be using this, I don't think. It'll be around my Christmas holiday decorations, and then I'll put it back into my craft room. So stay tuned for when I come to my table so that I can show you a little bit closer what I did. Thanks. It's right after this video on the same video.
Hi everybody, Susie here with part B of my video. Just getting comfortable. I want to show you hands on the Victorian boot that I created. And like I said, my inspiration on this was Pinterest. And I really, had favored a couple of boots in particular, and I wanted to try it out for myself. So with hands on, you can see that this is quite large. It is definitely about 16 inches long. And it's just absolutely beautiful, I think. With that said, I just wanted to show you again that I drew my own template, and so you can see how long it is. This is a 12 by 18 piece of cardstock. So the boot is probably about 16 inches in its height. And once I did that, I cut everything out, like I said, but I'm focusing on this now. Here's some of the handmade flowers that I made. This one is like a heavy rayon, and the other flowers are velvet. This one is velvet. This is a non-stretch velvet. This one is a stretch velvet, and these two here are silk. And those are really big. This one is really big, the one on top. It's just beautiful. That one's on a wire that's coated with like a mulberry paper. And I'm just going to show you the inside here because I was not able to do that when it was hanging up, and I just want to show you it in its entirety. If you can see, I made the whole thing on the inside. I lined it with fleece to give it a little bit of padding because the outside is muslin, and then I completely I sewed all the way around it. With the whole thing was done on the sewing machine, and then I stuffed it with some fiber fill, and then I had a piece of styrofoam here that's square just to hold the shape a little bit. And you can see there's the wire that the flower is on. It's kind of glued in. And so then what I had done was just taken a simple piece of fabric here, and I stuffed it in there just to make it look like there's something there, and I just placed that flower right on in there. And you can see that these laces are just so luxurious and so elegant. This one in particular on top is a stretch lace from Shabbylishious, just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I decided to turn it the other way instead of using it this way. I have the bottom scallop on the top, which really gave it a really nice look, just beautiful. And getting to the flowers, this one I created with separate petals, really pretty. And there's a really pretty one of my buttons from my fabric haul. It's a beautiful metal button. It's a heavy weighted metal button with a pearl and some rhinestones. And like I said, this one was a really pretty velvet. I just love this one here. This is a non-stretch velvet that I made, the flower. And then I also have a great tassel here, and one of these hanging chandelier crystals. And then these really big twisted roses are my total favorite, and the color and all is just really holiday slash Victorian, which I'll be keeping this out all year long in my craft room. And you can see all the luxurious laces up close a little bit better here that I've incorporated into this boot on the top of the muslin. These two that you're looking at here are from Shabbylishious that are cascaded all the way down onto the boot. There are many of the Shabbylishious laces here, along with other embellishments and items from my stash, like that beautiful vintage lace from my mother-in-law. Another really gorgeous, and I wasn't able to capture this in the other video, but this is like a gold applique, and it's not necessarily an applique, it's actually a yard of applique lace that my friend Bev gave me a couple of years ago, and I never touched it until I cut this one piece off. It's just so beautiful. And there are some other appliques really pretty on there. There's the other half of the butterfly. Just beautiful. I actually created a bow that I was thinking about putting right here, but I wasn't really sure if I should or I shouldn't. I was kind of wanting to ask what you might think, your opinion, if I should put the bow on or not. I was going to go to a different fabric store because mine is no longer here, and I was going to get some chained rhinestone and put it on the center of the bow and maybe like put it up here somewhere. Not really sure if I'm going to use that or not. And that's really basically it. You can see that everything was sewed with a machine, and the seams, most of them are covered. I did not sew on the appliques and laces. Those were all added on with Fabri-Tac and hot glue. Just a really stunning piece. And it hangs by a piece of seam binding, which now that I see that it's quite weighty, I should have used a heavier piece of ribbon of some kind or fabric, but I can always change that around, but I don't really want to ruin anything. So that's really basically it, friends. I really wanted to share this with you, aside from just having it hanging up. I actually cried when I finished this because I just fell so in love with it that I worked so hard in creating something completely from scratch, not altering it, and that not many things do inspire me. A lot of things that I do, I make on my own, and I do get inspired by certain things, and I like to be different. So this was something that I don't have in my house right now, that I don't have at all. I do have some really beautiful, very Christmassy, vintage type. I'm tongue twisted today. I'm sorry. Boots and stockings, Christmas stockings, but I don't have anything like this, and I really wanted something like this, and I certainly was not going to buy it because I knew that I can eventually try and make it. As you can see down here, I've got a little bit of stuffing in there just to keep a shape. I could have left it by itself, but then it would have been really bendable and flexy, and I don't want that. So I really was going to, you see how I have like the fringe here, like cutting it off, kind of ending it like. I was going to make more flowers and have them coming down along here and get very small as we get here with like some type of strap around the ankle, but I didn't want to get too gaudy because I really do believe that sometimes when you're overdoing something that it can become very gaudy looking. That's just not my style. So anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed seeing this project, and I really enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun. I did, like I said, draw my own template, and you can hear that it's on a heavy weighted 12 by 18 cardstock. That was very helpful. So for those of you who might be interested in making something for yourself, I would suggest using a template. I don't know, I didn't draw mine on the you'll see pictures that I'll post at the end. I didn't draw mine on the fabric. I actually drew mine on the template, cut it out, and then put the template on the fabric, pinned it, and then cut it, because I wanted to show you that I actually did draw the template, and I did cut it out. It's just being honest about how it was made. I did not want to glue together both sides and the lining of this. I just felt that sometimes with like shabby chic crafts and other Victorian items, they're really nice to be sewn and used without glue. And since I knew I was going to use some of the Fabri-Tac and a little hot glue here and there, I didn't, when you touch it, it feels hard on fabric. And I didn't want that. I didn't want any kind of hard feeling. I wanted it to be soft and beautiful, like the laces, like the fabric. The muslin is high grade. It's just absolutely beautiful. And that's really basically it. So thanks so much, friends. Please stay tuned for the end. I've got some pictures of the flowers in the boot, and exactly how I cut out this so that you can see. So thanks so much for tuning in. Have a very beautiful holiday, everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hannukah, and Happy and Healthy 2015 New Year. Bye, everyone.